And so when I say Chinese, I want you to scream out the nation that's associated with this. For example, if I say Chinese, you're going to say what?
China.
All right, let's say it with authority. When I say Chinese, you say what? China. All right, that's just a test right there. So here we go. Chinese.
China.
Russian.
Russia.
Italian.
Italy.
German.
Germany.
Swedish.
Sweden.
Korean.
Korea.
Egyptian.
Egypt.
Nigerian.
Nigeria.
Black.
Exactly. Nothing. Tell him, Pastor. Tell him, Pastor. Black, nothing.
I hope you were able to successfully identify the issue.
The lion won't sleep tonight. 'Cause we woke now, and we woke now. I said the lion won't sleep tonight. 'Cause we woke now, and we woke now. They want us to sell our souls to barter profit. Like God's property, it's hard to market. So we steady to aim, keep your eyes on target. Cause when you got to drive, yeah, they'd rather you park it. But I don't valet, you ain't getting these keys. I'm keeping closed hands, I'm on bended knee. I'm just a reflection, dealing with 8 sections. Art mixed with life, you can feel the convection. Your lion won't sleep tonight. 'Cause we woke now, and we woke now. I said the lion won't sleep tonight. 'Cause we woke now, and we woke now. I said
The same people that have stripped us of our identity and labeled us as a color have told us what it means to be black.
You know what you are? You're an ancient Israelite.
Ancient is there. That's who we are. That's who we are. So if you give me time, if you give me time,
But
all that he said.
I know. We don't have.
So many years.
I know. Look at this. This is pages and pages of
Yes.
notes. And I promise we'll give more teaching. But here is my challenge to you.
All right.
I'm hearing some of your traditions. It's like the days of the Bible.
Yes.
Do you want to remain ancient Israelites or you want to be Jews? Do you want to remain?
The same people that have stripped us of our identity and labeled us as a color have told us what it means to be black.
Assalamualaikum. In the 13th tribe, Arthur Koestler traces the origin of Eastern Europe's Jewish population that was largely decimated by the Nazi onslaught during the Second World War. Through extensive research, he discusses the history of a trading empire that was set up by a tribe known as the Khazars. The Khazar Empire was located between the expanding power blocks of Christianity and Islam, and the people were converted to Judaism by their king as a way of standing apart from both. The Khazarians and their wealth were dispersed through the countries of Eastern Europe after the collapse of the Khazar Empire. The Khazarians were not a Semitic people, that they called themselves Jews after their conversion to Judaism is as absurd as the Chinese Muslims calling themselves Arabs. The Khazarians were not a Semitic people, that they called themselves Jews after their conversion to Judaism is as absurd as the Chinese Muslims calling themselves Arabs. It is their descendants who later started the campaign for European Jews to return to Palestine, a land their ancestors never set foot on. The European Jews, i.e. descendants of Khazarians, were not descendants of Prophet Abraham, therefore bringing into question the legality of their claim on the Promised Land. This book had been out of print for many years and has only recently been republished.
The true Jews of Israel are your black ancestors, are your black ancestors, are your black ancestors. The true Jews of Israel are your black ancestors. You think you and Kyle make TikToks together? Kyle only cares about money. Think about it. Are you really making TikToks together, or is Kyle profiting off of you? It's just like the lost tribes of Israel. It's just like the lost tribes of Israel.
I was noticing that you're kind of hanging out a lot with Kyle lately. Is there a problem with that? No, I think it's amazing. It's awesome that someone like you could be okay with someone like him, given all the new information lately. You know, the stuff that's come out about how the Jews stole the black race's identity? That the lost tribes of Judah were actually all Africans? You didn't hear about this? Black people are actually the Jews and people like Kyle have taken that from them? Stop talking to me. When the Jews came to America to escape persecution in World War II, they found that blacks were already the underclass in America. So they had to invent a story for themselves which they could make everyone believe because Kyle runs Hollywood.
Now I can't figure it out. If y'all are the chosen ones, shouldn't y'all be obeying better than me? I mean, I even try to keep the fourth commandment. Try to keep the Sabbath day holy. I've spent many of hours trying to figure out which is the right Sabbath day, 'cause we know that old Catholic Church, something a little fishy about them, don't we? With that white Jesus. I mean, here's a white guy telling you black people that your Messiah is not a long-haired white European guy. Your Messiah is Hebrew, my darker-skinned brothers and sisters. When are you guys going to wake up and become kings and queens?
It does not matter what color Jesus was. What matters is that he came to the earth, lived a perfect life, died a death for the sins of the world, and then conquered the grave, proving that he is the Son of God. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
It just doesn't matter. 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 It just doesn't.
Okay, I was just thinking about this morning. I grew up Baptist. I went to Vacation Bible School. I've read the Bible. I don't know if I'm interpreting it correctly, but if we are made in God's image, right, and the first modern humans originated in Africa, if God has a human form, God is black. God is black.
I was a Christian missionary for years, but there came a time in my life when I realized that what I was taught about the Bible was a lie. In my confusion, I cried out for help. I met an Israelite who introduced me to the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, who is described in the Bible as having hair white as wool and eyes red as fire. Yes, the God in the Bible is black.
God's people, the Most High has chosen, the Hebrews, the blacks in America, okay? We're about to see some power. Come on, y'all. You got to get out of this lie, okay? You got to get out of this lie. You have got to come out of this lie. This white Jesus that you are worshiping is going to take you to hell. Please wake up. Oh, in the name of Yahushua, wake up. Oh, I feel the Holy Ghost. Oh, hallelujah. Hallelujah. Yahushua is an alpha, strong, black man. He is a Negro. He is a Hebrew. I don't know what word you need to hear to understand who they are, but it is not me. I am not a chosen. You can get mad. It doesn't matter. This is how the Most High has done it. I am a Gentile, and I know my place. But I'm called to tell all of these Gentile whites that I know that you are in the deepest deception that you have ever been in, and you have been in it your whole life. And the awakening is happening now. People are waking up.
That's why I'm convinced Jesus was black, you know. because he hasn't come back yet. Like that's the. He said, "I will be back in an hour that you least expect it." That is the blackest thing I've ever heard in my life. He's gonna confuse the hell out of everybody, all the white people when he comes back too, because he's like, "It's been a minute." White people will be like, "It's been 2,000 years, Jesus. What are you talking about?"
Genesis chapter 11, verse 10 explains the genealogy of Shem. Shem was a black man in Africa. If you repeat this fact, they can't laugh at you. If you repeat this fact, they can't laugh at you. If you repeat this fact, they can't laugh at you.
Want to say peace and blessings to everyone. Had to adjust my mic. Forgot to enable my mic, so my apologies for the delay. Also, I wanted to get some clips together before I did this live, because you guys know how I do. I like to share clips. And, this is, unfortunate, that I even have to do a video like this again. It seems like, every so often around this time of the year, I have to deal with situations like this, and I'm going to explain to you guys why I had to do this video, right? And some of you guys may not be aware of TCA. He and we were communicating via email, and he decided to, because I made a request to him of not using my video anymore within his videos, as well as removing whatever clips he's taken from my videos because of misrepresenting the videos. So he decided that he was going to take my last response to him, along with whatever response he had given, and posted, and really went in left field with it. And so this is why I have the title of this presentation here, and I'm going to keep it respectable, but I have to address what he put out there, family. And it's unfortunate, but there's a playbook. There's a playbook that is taking place, that it seems, again, every so often this type of situation comes up, and it's unfortunate with someone with the platform that he has, someone that has, the reachability that he has, that, I had to address something like this. And so the title of this here is called Open Letters Getting Loud. Open Letters Getting Loud. And there's a reason why I have that image in the background. And I'm going to tie all of that in to this presentation tonight. And again, family, this is unfortunate that I even have to deal with this type of situation. It's unfortunate that you guys, that are seeking information, seeking this truth, have to even be subjected to this type of stuff. Now you guys already know about the things that have been going on in terms of with the Freemasons and the fraternities and sororities, the discussions that have been pushed out here about that, to the point where, as though, and I didn't put it inside here, didn't want to get into all of that, but I even have people that are following him coming over to this platform, and you guys seen it firsthand, disrespecting me and you, making up lies that in Gaza or in Goza Sabah person and a few others coming over here and posting insults and lies. I got the emails to even prove it. So it's unfortunate that I have to address this here. Here it is. We're in high holy days. Here it is. We're, uh, just going into the Feast of Tabernacles. And I have to address something like this. And there's a reason why I titled it Open Letters. Open letters. You guys know where I'm going to go at with this. I pull this scripture out over and over again when I deal with situations like this because family, we have to go into the scriptures to really understand what Nehemiah was talking about, what he was making reference to. And this is sad, man. This is really disappointing that I even have to address something like this among people, among you guys, dealing with teachers, those that have large platforms and all that. So again, I'm not dealing with any secret love. I'm dealing with open rebuke because this is what he did to me. And I want to show you the blatant lie, the blatant manipulations. And I may try to, add some additional slides to this presentation about witchcraft, because that's what witchcraft is. That's what casting spells is. If you have to manipulate videos, if you have to manipulate and piece them together to try to form a narrative that's not there, that's manipulation. Anytime I deal with other groups, people that have come against me, I'll let you guys hear exactly what they said. So that way it doesn't appear that I'm taking their words out of context. Then I will respond to it. And I'm going to show you why I decided and I made a private request to him. This wasn't public, private request. We were very respectful, very cordial. But then because I asked him to remove my video clip that he's been taken out of context, he went way out in left field. And he decided to take a private exchange and make it public to you and add some other stuff to it. So let's go to get into it, family. So and I'll explain the getting loud here in a second here. So let's start with Nehemiah chapter 6. Let's start with Nehemiah chapter 6 because this is a powerful text and we see this pattern playing out over and over and over again. Nehemiah chapter 6, starting at verse 5, this is what it says. Then sent Sanballat, his servant, unto me in like manner the fifth time with an open letter in his hand. Right? So to paint a picture here, so that way you guys really understand what's happening in this text. The first chapter starts off with Nehemiah asking you a question of the status of his people. The report came back very, very unfavorable. Nehemiah went into prayer. He began to fast. Went to the king, in whom he was a cupbearer, taste tester. But he was his cupbearer. He was his taste tester. He was the one that put his life on the line on a regular basis. He was the one that sampled the foods before the king even eats. He was the one that would drink the wine or whatever the case may be before the king drank. If it was poison, he was the first one to go. But because of his relationship and his integrity, the king provided him the resources, letter, permission, authorization to go to restore Israel, starting with Jerusalem. So in that process, when you get to chapter 4, Israel completed rebuilding the walls. The Sanballats were hating against them, right? They completed building the walls around this city of Jerusalem, but they still didn't have the gates up. But nevertheless, by the time we get to chapter 5, right, Sanballat is making several attempts to get Nehemiah to stop the work, so that way he can meet with him and they can kill him. They can kill him. They can set him up. So here, this is the fifth time. The fifth time. The fifth letter of the Hebrew alphabet, or Aleph Bayat, is the Ha, which means reveal. It means revelation. So for the fifth time, but this time, Sanballat decided to send an open letter. So for the fifth time, with an open letter in his hand, wherein was written, "It is reported among the heathen in Gashmu, saith it, that thou and the Judeans think to rebel, for which cause thou buildest the wall, that thou mayest be their king according to these words. And thou hast also appointed prophets to preach of thee at Jerusalem, saying, there is a king in Judah, and now shall it be reported to the king according to these words. Come now, therefore, and let us take counsel together. So again, Sanballat sent his servant unto me like manner the fifth time with an open letter. Family, what's the significance of the open letter? For the fifth time, they sent an open letter. This time, they changed the content of the letter and they sent the letter unsealed. Why is this important? Because sending a letter, an unsealed letter, at that time, for that day and time, was most unusual because the letters were sealed. The letters were sealed. But here, they purposely let the letter circulate with no seal on it. So here's the strategy. In ancient days, when an official letter was sent, it was always rolled up, tied, and sealed, so it would only be opened and read by the person to whom it was being sent. But in this case, Sanballat sent an unsealed letter to Nehemiah. His purpose was to have the letter read by the messenger and many others along the route. They would naturally spread the lies contained in the letter. Doesn't that sound familiar? Doesn't that sound familiar how so many are using social media, purposely sending out or creating videos, creating blogs and, podcasts, doing all these things, kind of like the playbook, like Tasha K did with, what's her name? I can't think of her name right now. The hip hop artist, I can't think of her name right now, but Tasha K made up a lie and knew that she was telling a lie. Said that this person had herpes, had a venereal disease, spreaded those rumors, and was asked with respect to take it down, to pull that back. Pull it back. Instead of doing that, Tasha K dug in deeper and continued to promote that lie. Her whole goal was to push that lie so that way it will force her, the person that she targeted, to come onto her channel to help boost up what? Ratings. Cardi B, that's her name. To have Cardi B come onto her channel to help boost up her ratings. And what happened? It was proven that she absolutely lied. She absolutely lied, made it up. She even admitted it when push came to shove. And even today, she's still not showing that she's remorseful about her actions. But that's the playbook. Make up some stuff, get that stuff circulating, so that way you force the person that you're targeting to come onto your platform, to enter into discussions, So that way they come to prove themselves to you, but it also build up what? Numbers. Man, this is unfortunate. This is unfortunate. Now, I'm not saying that he's doing it to build up numbers, but I can tell you there's a reason why I always refer to this scripture right here, because he purposely, and I'm going to show you, he decided like I was going to be, I guess, nervous that he's going to take a private request and make it public, and then he manipulated the email, and I'm going to show you here. Come on, family. And so many people are thinking that, not so many, some people are actually thinking that's okay. That's not biblical to bring a charge against someone and tell them that, hey, this is what you are, or this is what you're into. And then that person has to give an account to you. Or if someone decides to teach with clarity, like I did, talk with clarity about Freemasonry and fraternities and sororities, oh, now you get labeled as being gatekeepers. When I made it clear that I don't support Freemasonry, I made it clear that I don't support fraternities and sororities. I've been teaching this lesson for years on top of years. But yet and still, what happened? And I'm going to show you the blatant lie that he put out there. The blatant lie that he put out there. And this is unfortunate. This is very unfortunate. Verse 8 of Nehemiah, notice what it says. Then I sent unto him, saying, there are no such things done as thou sayest, but thou feignest them out of thine own heart. So how did we woke in TCA? How did this interaction begin? How do we begin to interact with one another? Well, family, I don't have the screen print. Normally I keep screen prints at every time someone do certain things, or tag me in certain things, but I didn't do it at this time. But he made a post in his community channel. He had me, Teo Ministries, Dante, and made a post saying how we are basically gatekeepers, protecting the Freemasons among us. So I saw that post. And actually, how I found out about it is he tagged me in it. So here it is. Me and TCA not having any interactions with each other. Now, suddenly, out of the clear blue, he tagged me. So I go to the tag. I'm like, hey, what's going on here? I go to the tag and I read the post in this community section. And so I made a post within that community section. And I literally stated, I said, I made it clear that I denounce Freemasonry. I denounce any fraternities and sororities. I said, I made it clear. I said, please don't tag me in any more of your posts, your videos and community posts. I said, if you need to reach out to me, if you have any questions, email me. And so he did. So he did. That's how our interaction started, because he was already taking clips that I didn't agree with, but he already took my material, and I didn't like how he represented it. But then he took it a step further and began to make posts and then tag me in the post. See, family, that's this open letter thing. See, family, I don't operate like that. I don't even like going on other people's channels and making posts. So this person, Sabah, and what's his name? Ngozu Sabah, been trolling here. You guys remember that person came inside a teaching that I was doing and lied on the chat saying we were going in on TCA. You guys remember that? Say I was going in on TCA. Made up a lie, and I have the email with the person admitting that you guys weren't doing that in the video post. Then tried to say, oh, it was the another video when I was doing a live from my car. And no one was talking about TCA. If anything, there was a few people trolling, coming at me saying, hey, I can't follow a pastor who used to be a Freemason. And I actually stood up for TCA, saying, hey, you know what? I understand him, the angle that he's coming at, saying, hey, we should be talking about these secret societies. I understand that. And we do need to have conversations on that, which is fine. But I don't agree with putting out information on someone that you have not confirmed whether they are connected or not, and you put it out there, and now that person is supposed to come to you and prove whether or not they are or not. That's not scripture. That's open letters. So that's how our interaction started. So this is the post that he made, and I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it to you, and then I'm going to show you the actual portion of the letter that he posted. It's still up on his channel. He says this is what happens in the dark private. A member / pastor of AIJF who did not oppose the false exposed video from his president, Benaiah Israel, is suggesting that my videos be doctored, essentially attempting to limit my freedom of speech, of which AIJF are supposed to protect. Irony. So he's acknowledging this was a private email exchange. I requested for him to remove my clips because he was misrepresenting my information inside his videos. And I'm gonna show you how he represented. I made clips of it. Not all of them, but I made some clips here so you can see how he began to manipulate my videos and think that I'm supposed to sit here and say, hey, go ahead and keep doing it. Freedom of speech. But then he goes on to say here, at We Woke now, instead of using the scriptures to gossip about others to me privately, if you have something to say about them, and this is where he posted, Pastor Dow, like I'm behind his back and we having conversations and we going in. No, And journeyman, man and woman, that's Issachar. Do it publicly. Wait a minute. Apparently, and I'm not even going to give the benefit of the doubt. You guys already know this person, TCA, has combed through my videos. I know he has, because he even combed through my Facebook video, finding a Freemason lesson that confirms that I've been teaching this for years on top of years. So I know he saw my public response to Pastor Dow for the things that he had said about me, with just out of nowhere, calling me names, cursing, threats, disrespecting my wife. And then this guy Issachar, who out of the clear blue decided that he was going to make a video starting off saying that me and others are leading our people back into Christianity and some other stuff. I'm thinking that he was cool, because when that whole situation with Dow occurred, he was one of the ones, the very few that publicly stood up. Then out of the clear blue, threw me up under the bus. So I don't hide behind emails. I don't roll like that, family. Gossip, like he's calling me out. Do it publicly. Integrity, accountability, love, and truth is the best weapon. I'm tired of the games and Bible manipulation. I'm not an Xbox, Nintendo, or a PlayStation. Glory to the Creator. So when I read this, when I saw this here, I was like, what in the world is going on? I said, okay. He called me out. He's getting what we call back in the day loud. I'm not sure if you guys heard that term before, getting loud on me. But before I explain it, let me allow you to see an example of what getting loud is. This is an example. That's why I labeled this the way I labeled it, TCA, open letters. Did he get loud? Well, I'm going to show you what getting loud is, and then I'm going to explain it here. Let me explain it. Well, I'm going to show this clip here, and then I'm going to explain what getting loud is. And then we'll go into some of the lies, the manipulations he did to doctor and give this this false tense that number one, I'm trying to gossip with him, and also misrepresenting the African Israelite Justice Foundation, which this has nothing to do with. Our interaction has nothing to do with the African Israelite Justice Foundation. I sent him an email from my We Woke Now account, that which he sent me initial email to. So let me go ahead and show you this here. This is what I mean by calling out. Here it is.
You're still not getting in, Shanae.
I'm not getting in.
No.
I'm not getting in.
No.
Shanae's not getting in.
No. Which part of no don't you understand? The N or the O?
Okay, you don't put your hands on me. You don't touch me. Okay, because ain't nobody here to break us up. All right, huh? Ring, come on with it.
See, that's calling out. That's calling out. You know, got to over exaggerate things, make things to try to appear a certain way. You know, I'm not sure if you guys experienced this before. You know, being younger, you go to talk to someone, you're trying to resolve something, and they didn't want to get loud, or that person that don't get a lot of attention. You say hello to them. Oh, I know you didn't. You know, they want to get loud. Oh, I know you ain't talking about me. You know, you have those people that want to get loud. Kind of like that's what we call getting loud. You want to get loud? Wait a minute. You getting loud with me? Come on now. You wanted to make something that was literally nothing. This is a private email exchange, and then made it go here. I hear what you're saying up next. We can disagree, but beefing unnecessarily, I don't understand. You know what? It's not me. I didn't bring this to the table. And see what tend to happen, and this is where I get upset, because it's similar to sports, right? When the whole Dow situation occurred, I was quiet for 3 months, didn't say a single word, while video after video was being made about me, while other people were jumping on that bandwagon. But as soon as I dropped the first video, all of a sudden, can't we get along? Why are you guys going back and forth? Why you guys are going back and forth? Wait a minute, going back and forth? I didn't even make a video. You know, once I responded, then all of a sudden, can't we all get along? Same thing with Issachar. Same thing with him. Now he call himself boy meets girl or man meets woman or whatever it is. Oh, journey man and woman. My apologies, not trying to disrespect. So now, same thing with that. Even someone made an attempt before I made my initial response to say, hey, I want to set something up for you guys to have a conversation in private. And what happened? He threw me on blast. He read the person's email and threw it on. I don't know this person. I don't know. Put me on blast. But then when I responded, all of a sudden, some people want to say, hey, well, why can't you guys just get along? Why do you have to go back and forth? Wait a minute. I didn't make a single video until I saw how he responded. Boom. Now it's on, because now I have to now address those allegations. Now I have to address the things that he made public. Me minding my own business. So now here it is. Even when I confessed, well before I even knew who TCA was, made it clear that I used to be a Freemason. Helped so many people out with even teaching the teachings that I've taught against Freemason. Got the testimonies. And guess what? It wasn't on YouTube when I first taught this. I was teaching that for years on top of years. I could pull up some of the older teachings on that. But okay, now it's being manipulated as, hey, I'm trying to be a gatekeeper. So let's look at some of the lies here. Was I gossiping and using scripture to justify speaking against those guys? Am I, and I want to ask this question too, and I want to give clarity. Am I the pastor of the African Israelite Justice Foundation? And I want to say absolutely not. If you guys want to know more about the African Israelite Justice Foundation, guess what? Go to the webpage and go to the contact us and send an email. Send an email. I am not the pastor of African Israelite Justice Foundation. I'm part of the group. I hold no titles. But if you want to know more about the organization and what the purpose and goals is of the organization, then go to the website and you can see clearly what it's about and you can send an email. But why is it being attacked? Here it is. We're the only group of people that can't even have or try to form something to defend ourselves. Other communities have it, but we can't form something. Now it automatically has to go into this boule, this Freemasonry, all that other stuff. We can't have anything to defend ourselves. And now this person has positioned himself to saying that, hey, I'm going to put all these names out here. Now you guys going to have to show me receipts and prove to me that you're not. Come to the public and confess that you're not. One of the individuals, almost 70 years old, called me up and explained the situation about, and I'm not going to mention names, the speech impediment that that person had to endure and how the hand position helped that person better and calm and talk. Used to get laughed at for stuttering. But yet and still, an image was taken of this person, posted in suggesting that this person is part of the Freemasons. Will a public response in terms of apology go to this person? Come on, family. I've been teaching on Freemasonry for years. And I made an assertive effort that, you know what, I'm not gonna put people in the video because I don't know who they are. I don't know how they roll, but I'm gonna focus on the information to educate the people. So I want to make it clear. TCA and my interaction has nothing to do with the African Israelite Justice Foundation. Even though he's making an assertive effort to lump me in and lump my actions and lump that my response and my request in with the African Israelite Justice Foundation. Why is it this major attack on this organization? When clearly people have made it clear that's connected to the organization that they were never in a fraternity, never in a sorority, never been in part of Freemasonry, but yet and still they are being the videos are still being made suggesting either you part of it or now you're a gatekeeper because now you won't denounce or now you won't separate yourself from someone else or you appear to be defending someone else. So Let me show you what he blatantly did. Am I listed as the pastor of this organization on the website? No, I'm listed as a member. I am not the pastor of this organization. I am the pastor of Passion for Reconciliation Ministries that's been in ministry for almost 14 years. So this is what he posted. Come on, family. This is what he posted here. Let me zoom it in. This is what he's posted. And I know that there's some people that are rolling with TCA inside the chat, and I'm here to now I have to give an answer because he made a post with blatant lies and deception. Now I have to answer because now when people look at this, those that don't may not understand, when you look at it on the surface, this looked like this is an email sent by me from the African Israelite Justice Foundation. Now, family, and I'm going to ask you guys in the chat, does this look like an official email from the organization? If you just look at it real quick, type 1 if you agree, type 2 if you disagree. Does this not look like this is a letterhead that he created? But does this look like, if you looked at it at a glance, let me take this off. Does this not look like this an official letter that was sent by way of African Israelite Justice Foundation? Tell me if this looks like an official letter that was sent by way of the organization. And if you guys say no or say that it doesn't, I'll repent. I'll apologize. I'll bring them on the channel and apologize to you guys. Come on, family. Come on, fam. If you look at it, does it not look like it's an official letter being sent by the organization email server? And I'm just going to read some of you guys and family. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. But notice what it says here. Oh, well, actually, before I do that, let's see some of the people that have made comments. All right. And Focus, agree. Naomi, agree that it looks like an official letter from the organization. I Am Peace agrees with me. Alexandria, shout outs to you, sis. Agrees with me. Hershey Coco agrees with me. Stacy Pullum agrees with me. Angela Carraway agrees with me. Monica Dixon agrees with me. Shout outs to you. Let's see here. Nikaya Israel agrees with me. Walk in the Truth agrees with me. Jason Camper agrees with me, right? I mean, it looks like on a glance, if you just look at it at a glance, it looks like an official letterhead. All right. Sister Carol disagree with me. All right. But so far, 99% says it looks like, when you glance at it, looks like it's official letterhead. Bethia agrees with me. Desiree agrees with me. All right. And I should have put a poll inside the chat as well. Laura agrees with me. Yah's daughter agrees with me. C. Brooks agrees with me. So pretty much going through the chat here, Omaya agrees with me. Carla agrees with me. Priscilla Sharp agrees with me. Mr. The Original agrees with me. Right? So far, everyone, Veronica agrees with me. All right. All That Jazz agrees with me. So on the surface, right, rebuke all devils agree with me. Ajay agrees with me. So pretty much everyone, and Sister Carol, I understand what you're saying, but I think from you, because you're looking at it from an analytical perspective, it's going to look that way. I'm not looking at it. I want you to look at it from where you are, but look at it from people that are not familiar with Photoshop, that are not familiar with it. If you glance at it, it can look like this is an official letter that's coming from the organization. So I know you're looking at it from a technical aspect, but I'm just saying from a perspective of when you glance at it, on a quick glance, it looks like it's something that came from the organization. All right. So, but anyway, but again, you're entitled to how you to your thoughts because I did ask a question. So you and actually someone else pointed out, no, it doesn't look official. All right. So we have two people. All right. But for the most part, uh, it's majority of the people, I want to say 99%, agree that this on the surface, glancing at it, it looks like uh, it's an official email coming from the organization. If you glanced at it, kind of like if you guys got letters coming in the mail that it looks like it's official letter, whether it's a check as well, and then you look at it like, wait a minute, hey, wait a minute, no, no, this is not real, because they make it look so much like it's real. If you're not careful, you could get caught up in the scam, right? So, but anyway, like I said, when you look at it in a glance, that's how it looks. It looks like it can possibly be sent by way of the email service. All right. So when we look at that, until you start looking at it correctly, right? And guess what? Yep, you see, Israelite is spelled wrong. That's some of the things I notice here. But on the glance, though, that's when you start taking the time looking at it, it's like, wait a minute, it looks on the surface like it can be a legitimate letter. Right. So when we zoom in, right, fake letterhead. This is a fake letterhead, family. And as you see here, misrepresentation of an organization's image, and you see Israelite spelled incorrectly. And then I'm also going to highlight a couple of other things here. The email was sent directly to and from We Woke Now's Gmail account. So why did TCA make an assertive effort to he created a letterhead, or to appear to be a letterhead, and put it at the top of the email to give the impression that this was sent from an email server by way of this organization? That is a misrepresentation of an organization's image. This is fraud. Right on the surface, this will be considered fraud. This is considered fraud. This is considered fraud, family. Now, why does a person have to stoop to this to prove a point? To prove a point. I mean, even put a date up on here. I mean, took time to create this. Look at this. Put a date here, a date and time here, sent Friday. What made it look like it's an official email? Made it look like it's an official email. Now, he purposely highlighted this here because I'm going to address this here in a second here. And I'm going to pull up the email thread so we can highlight a few things within it, and this is going to prove my point, right? Because he made it clear that, hey, in his response to my request, that, hey, you disappeared, saying I disappeared. But the way that this is made out to be, he said, made it look like, all right, thoughts, camera, action, cool, I'm available this Sunday or Wednesday anytime, right? Then it has the date, September 7th. There's a reason why he put that here, right? And then you see my response. But I'm going to show you this, the order of these emails in a second here. I'm going to show you the orders of these emails in a second here. So again, open letters, getting loud, right? Because TCA got loud on me. He got loud on me. I didn't say or do anything that warranted this level of disrespect. I thought I was very respectful to him inside the email thread. I really did. I thought I was very respectful to him in spite of. But he decided to get loud.
You're still not getting question, Nene.
I'm not getting in.
No.
I'm not getting in.
No.
Chinese, not getting in.
No. Which part of no don't you understand? The N or the O?
Okay, you don't put your hands on me. You don't touch me. Okay, because ain't nobody here to break us up. All right, huh? Ring, come on with it.
So he decided to get loud on me. See, that's what we would call back in the day, getting loud. So, Top Cat, to let you know, it's not an official letterhead because it's sent from a Gmail account. So I'm gonna open up my Gmail account and I'm going to allow you guys to see the email, and you won't see that letterhead. That letterhead is something that he created. The African Israelite Justice Foundation doesn't even have that letterhead, doesn't even have letterhead. TCA created that letterhead to give the impression that it was something that was sent by way of the African Israelite Justice Foundation. And let's go back here, and I'm going to get to, I'm going to open up. I'm going to open up the email so we can kind of bring all of this together. All right. So let's go back here. And you guys could go to his, you could guys could go to his community section and you'll see this here. So this is what he posted. This is what happens in the dark. In other words, private. A member / pastor of AIGF, African Israelite Justice Foundation, who did not oppose the false exposed video from its president Benaiah Israel, is suggesting that my videos be doctored, essentially attempting to limit my freedom of speech, of which the AIJF are supposed to protect. And I'm going to show you, see, I don't know what he's talking about. I haven't heard of an exposed video about Benaiah going at TCA. And most of the people that know me, I'm not even on social media like talking about it. I don't even understand how people can be on social media like they are. I work. We have an actual brick and mortar ministry. Have 2 daughters in college. Do you think I have time like this to be going? I mean, I don't have time for this. That's why I love StreamYard, because I didn't have time to be making these detailed videos. It helps me be able to do teaching without having to do all kinds of edits like I used to. But I don't have time for this. I really don't. I could be asleep right now, or we could be going into a teaching instead of dealing with stuff like this. I shouldn't even have to deal with stuff like this. You guys should not even have to deal with stuff like this. But yet, many think that it's okay, all because it's in the name of the Father. We got to expose this. Exposure brings closure. This is not biblical. This is not scripture. This is tying into Nehemiah chapter 6, the open letter. The open letter. Got plenty of people that was coming at me, right? Plenty of people that have come at me, and I have text messages that can literally shut all of that down, and I kept it to myself. Kept it to myself out of the integrity. Now, once they went private, started talking about it and call themselves bringing it up like Pastor Dow did. Okay, now I got to bring out the actual text messages, because he put his phone up and saying, "Oh, I got the text messages." Now it forced me to having to do what? Let me show the text messages. Let me show the text messages. I don't roll like this, family. I understand privacy. I understand when things are confided in a person one-on-one. I understand that as a pastor, the confidentiality that goes between pastor and the people in the assembly. Anyway, let me just get to it, family. Let me get to another section here. All right, let's go back to here. All right. So I want you to look at this date here. This date right here, make a note of September 7th, 2003. All right. Now, let me go to the image that was on the main slide. This right here. This right here says so much. I know some of you guys like, what do you mean by that, Pastor? What does it mean? What's the significance of September 3rd? The significance is not just September 3rd, but look, the 2 days prior, September 1st is when this post was made. But when we go back here, we see September 7th. Cool. So that this post was made on September 1st, right? This post right here was made on September 1st. And I'm going to show you, we never even had a discussion. We never came up with any dates or anything. I'm going to show you here. So let me go ahead and get into let me open up my Gmail real quick. Let me open up my Gmail real quick. And this is very disappointing, man. I couldn't believe it when I saw this letter, man. And I mean, even when he said that he was going to make this email public, and I'm going to show you what I said to him when he said he was going to make the email public. I told him that I disagree with it, but hey, if that's what he chooses to do, that's what he chooses to do. But little did I know he was going to go that route with it. That he was going to go into this manipulation with it. Come on, family. If we was in court about this thing, they would dismiss the case just off of this alone. Now I'm going to play a quick video, family, because I need to go get my phone to confirm the two-way authentication, so that way I can get on to Gmail. And I'm going to show you the actual email. Family, I don't know what's happened here. All right, my StreamYard is acting crazy. Suddenly. Can you guys hear me? All right, let's try this again. Can you guys hear me? Testing 1, 2. All right, let me go get my phone real quick. I'm going to play a quick video. That is weird. It literally, StreamYard just did something crazy. All right, so let me go get my phone to authenticate. But let me play a quick video here for you guys.
The lion won't sleep tonight, 'cause we woke now, and we woke now. I said the lion won't sleep tonight, 'cause we woke now, and we woke now. They want us to sell our souls to barter profit. Like God's property, it's hard to market. So we steady to aim, keep your eyes on target. Cause when you got to drive, yeah, they'd rather you park it. But I don't valet, you ain't getting these keys. I'm keeping closed hands, I'm on bended knee. I'm just a reflection, dealing with 8 sections. Art mixed with life, you can feel the convection. Your lion won't sleep tonight, 'cause we woke now, and we woke now. I said the lion won't sleep
All right, family. What I'm going to do, I'm going to back out of here and go back in because for some reason I'm getting echoes and all of that on my end. So let me back out of here and get back in. All right, can you guys hear me? All right, testing 1 2. If you guys can hear me, type 1. Uh, yeah, all of a sudden I'm having issues with StreamYard, so I may have to open up another browser. All right, this is weird. Again, I got multiple screens open here. All right, so let me go ahead and open up this email. All right, all right, that sounds like it's better. But let me go ahead and open up this Gmail. All right, let's see, almost here. Let me share this. Okay, I see what's happening here. Let me close this one out. All right, there we go. All right, I think I fixed it here. All right, I got the echo out. I think I figured it out. All right, let me show my email here. Let me show my email. All right, let's see here. I'm going to launch I'm going to share my email window. All right, let me share this now. And I want you guys to see the very first thing you're going to notice. The first thing you're going to notice is that, let me stop this here, is that you're not going to notice a letterhead. All right, so this is the email. Now, tell me if you guys notice anything different. Do you guys see an email? Do you guys see an email as or not an email, but a header associated with this? Do you see a header? This is the email thread that you see here. This is the email thread that you see here. This is a whole thread here, right? And so In that presentation, you saw the date September 1st. And I'm going to explain that here to you. I'm going to explain this gap here that you see from September 2nd, because when you see FYI, I sent a copy of this email thread, right, to, another email account, just so that way, just in case this thread disappeared, because some people are sending emails and then they'll recall it and I don't see the email. So I've purposely, on September 3rd, this is me. That's why it says FYI, for your eyes only. That's me forwarding it to make sure that I have a copy of this email. You see it again here. So this is me sending a copy of it. All right. Not to him. Okay. So remember what I said, that I got tagged in his post that he made. And this is the initial email he sent to me. He said here, I want to express my respect and I appreciate the fact that many, if not all, brew influencers are generally in agreement when it comes to downplaying any connections between Freemasonry, the Divine Nine, and etc. within the so-called awakening. This could perhaps be attributed to their own personal compromises, pledges, or even active family ties and sponsors with these groups. And matter of fact, let me zoom it in so you guys can see it more. All right, this is what I'm reading. Is that, so that way you guys could see it better. All right, if you guys could see what I'm reading on your screen, type 1. All right, now, again, do you guys see a letterhead? See, that in itself, manipulation. That in itself cancels out everything that he has posted, everything that he has said. That cancels out every video that he's made. Just that alone. That alone cancels out everything that he has said. Because here it is. I made a post on his, in response to the post he made that he tagged me in. That's not there anymore. I was trying to look for it so I can put it here. But you notice you don't see the letterhead that he created. You don't see, and I'm going to show you how he brings up the organization. But I kept bringing the conversation back to what it's about, but really between he and I. You don't see the letterhead that he created. So that in itself, and for those that are followers of TCA, this is not, I'm not trying to be nasty or come across as being nasty, rude, disrespectful, but he disrespected me. He got loud on me publicly and gave the impression that I'm representing an organization. And here it is. You see the blatant lie. The blatant lie. So again, family, you don't see a letterhead that he has there. But yet, I know I'm going to get emails and saying, hey, why can't you guys just talk about it offline? But here it is. I was publicly embarrassed and was down talked. He down basically in that message he posted. That's him down talking to me. Here it is. This is an internal discussion between he and I. He made it public. But he didn't make public the entire thread. So let's go ahead and read here. And I'll zoom in it a little more. So I have to cross over. So if I move back and forth, actually, I don't want to keep doing that. I'll just go about like here. This is the best I could do, family. All right. This is the best I could do, family, as far as zooming it in. All right. So this is his response to me with me reaching out to with me posting on that post, asking him, making a request to him about not tagging me in any more of his posts. I asked him that, right? So he says here, I want to express my respect and I appreciate the fact that many, if not all, brew influencers are generally in agreement when it comes to downplaying any connections between Freemasonry, the Divine Nine, etc., within the so called awakening. This could perhaps be attributed to their own personal compromises, pledges, or even active family ties and sponsors with these groups. I am also aware of recent efforts to undermine or silence individuals while ironically creating a charity for free speech, which I believe you are a part, which is quite contradictory as a whole. Moreover, it was no surprise to me when you announced you were due in well, they announced you were due in Freemasonry due to my recent research that the Most High put on me to explore, showing me the connection within the Negro Church to discourage this topic. I would like to inquire, which did you attain within Freemasonry? What motivated you to join? It would be beneficial to have transparency on these matters. Additionally, why would why do you think the church tends to overlook the presence of the Divine Nine and Freemasonry as a multi-generational tradition? I am open to engaging in a mature and sincere dialogue with the intentions of edifying the people of the Most High. But I'm not on any folly or wasting time. Big up. And and I appreciated his response. I appreciated his response, and this is my response to him, right? And not getting into all of that, but this is kind of giving them a little background on my music ties or whatever. Not going into that, but this is what I also answered his questions. I answered his questions right here. He asked me he asked me number one, and this is my response to his questions here. And what I did was I listed each question and answered it. I placed here, which degree did you, he asked, which degree did you attain within Freemasonry? I said here, Master Mason, and walked away online for my 32nd shrine. In other words, I was online for my 32nd degree, right? To go through the process to get up to become a Shriner, right? What motivated you to join? And see, I'm being open and honest. I said here, I was having a conversation unknowingly with one overseas, right? With a Mason overseas in Korea. And because of my knowledge base at that time, I was asked to join. I was told that I should join. And if I didn't like it, then walk away. Right. Then he asked here, why did I walk away from it? Now, I placed here, it was a subtle deception and slash delusion, similar to the frog in a pot of water when the temperature gradually being turned up. Initially, I was told that the letter G stood for geometry, only to learn that it stood for God, God, Gomer Oz Dabar. Also, as long as you believe in a higher power, anyone can be anyone can be one. The lodge I was initiated at really twisted the scriptures around with subtle modifications to key verses. And you guys know I teach that all the time. Why do you think the church tends to overlook the presence of the Divine Nine and Freemasonry as a multi generational tradition? He asked me this question right here. And my response, most pastors are Freemasons and part of a fraternity. Most of them encouraged joining them. Many use these organizations deceptively as a form of outreach to grow their ministries. Nevertheless, I'm very transparent and very respectful. I don't believe in foolishness. I'm all about the people, whether and this is what I'm reading right here, whether we agree or disagree, we should be able to show to the people that we are still brothers. Now, come on, family. Am I being respectful to him? Whether we agree or disagree, we should be able to show the people that we are still brothers. You see here, I'm being respectful to him. He's being cordial. We're being respectful to one another. We're being respectful to one another. Let me collapse this here. Oops. Let me zoom this out. Make sure I got it right. Oh, I hit the wrong one. Man, I Gmail, man. This is why I like Outlook, man. Let me go back here. That's why I like Outlook. I don't like how Gmail rolls. All right. So that was my response to my initial response to his response. So everything seemed to be all cordial. All right. So let's see here. I want to go down a little further. Let's start here. Right. And this is TCA being cordial to me because I had let him know that I had death in my family. Right. I want to express, and matter of fact, let me go a little further. No, I'm not going to go into that. Right. Because I had made a post making it clear that, hey, I made a post in the community channel saying that, hey, I'm not, that post had nothing to do with him, not the one that he made reference to. All right. But anyway, I want to express my condolences for the loss of your family member. Please accept my sympathies during this difficult time. Keep your head up. Know that you are not alone in your grief. I appreciate your willingness to discuss your journey into Freemasonry. I'm also aware of you being an active board member of AIJF, African Israelite Justice Foundation, ironically, the same organization with whom some members are determined to nullify this topic's exploration. Even so, I am open to finding a suitable day and time for our conversation that works best for you. Let me zoom that in. That works best for you. Please let me know your availability and I will do my best to accommodate your schedule. Once again, my condolences. And notice the date here, September 1st. So here we never set a date. We never set a time. And remember in the chat, let me bring this back up. Let me bring back up the slide. Let me stop this real quick and I'll bring it back up in a second. Let's bring up this presentation here. That's why I told you to remember this here. Right? Remember I said remember this screen print because this is a screen print, right, from a phone of him posting, right, on September 1st, because you see here September 3rd, and it says live in 2 days. So you count, you go back 2 days from the 3rd, that'll put you on the place you on the 1st. So on the 1st, even though we never made a date or time, he posted this on the internet. He posted this on his page as if we agreed to have a discussion, which we didn't. So make a note of this here. Make a note of this. This is why I'm showing you this here. This is why this screen print here is very important. This is a screen print, right? Showing, right? This is a screen print of the post that he made. We woke now, elephant in the room, live in 2 days. And this date is what? The 3rd that it was scheduled for. So he made this notification or created this this event on September 1st. And that's important for you guys to see. So let's go back over here. Let's go back over here. Not, because I even had people reaching out to me saying, hey, I didn't know that you and TCA we're going to have a discussion. And I was shocked myself. Like, what discussion? What discussion? You know what I mean? It's like, we never had any discussions about an exact date or anything like that. So let me go back here. Let me stop the screen. And let me go back over here. All right, let's see here. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Let's go back over here. All right, family. So that's on the first. All right. He sent me this on the first. All right. I responded on the 7th. Right. I responded on the 7th. And what was this about? And this is me dealing with giving him more information because he asked me again about the AIJF, right? He says, thanks, and I'm saying to him, thanks for the words of comfort and encouragement. It's a lot to deal with when this form of racism comes to your doorstep. So I'm referring to what happened to my cousin who was shot down in Florida during the shooting. That's what I'm dealing with here. Okay. And so, he was asking me questions about the AIJF, and I just made it clear. It says, I made it clear here, and I'll read this section here. Right here. It says, I cannot speak for the others within AIJF, but for me, the loss of my cousin reminded me of priorities similar to the unity of the king, king of the northern, the southern, and the Edomites. They saw that there was a bigger threat that did not care about who took what and who blessed with what. The threat of the Moabites was a bigger threat. And they realized that if they didn't come together, they would not have a future. And so that's why I post right here as well about the AIJF. The AIJF is a organization that's making an attempt to provide a much needed legal help to our community needs. Every ethnic and religious group in this country has been given a blank check to slander those who have come to the realization of their Israelite identity. You see it. I believe you've done a video in the past in regards to the agenda of those within the Christian apologist groups, right? So I'm giving them a little information on the African Israelite Justice Foundation, but I'm really focusing more on my views, not representing the organization, right? So this is where I went on further to say, please take this in consideration as a community, as we as a community have always been under the guilty first and prove your innocence. You're a history geek, and I put humor here, like I am, who truly stands for truth. I know you are familiar with the Barbados slave codes, which was the framework for the legal system in this country and many others. A Negro had to have receipts permitting him or her to walk to different areas within and outside the plantation. If they were caught without one, they were arrested and beaten. Many cases they were raped and held under their master would come and get them. Let's see what else. Held until their master would come and get them. So I just went here, and I said here, I close it out here by saying, again, this is only my opinion. Kumo D said it best on self-destruction, hip hop collaboration. I never had to run from the Ku Klux Klan. I shouldn't have to run from a black man. Maybe we can target next week. And I put here, maybe we can target next week to have a discussion. I apologize for the lengthy email. Again, thanks for the much needed words of encouragement during this time of bereavement, right? And again, I sent myself a FYI just to save the thread, just in case this got removed. You know how that goes. Got to cover yourself. Learned that from prior military. Okay, let me zoom out. All right, let's go down here. So the last email I sent to him was on the 2nd. And that was my birthday on the 2nd, right? So coming down on the 7th. Now we're down at the 7th. And this is what he sent to me. And notice what it says on the 7th. Cool. I'm available this Sunday or Wednesday anytime. Right. So it's the 7th. So I haven't responded. I haven't sent any emails because, again, that wasn't a priority for me because I still have a number of things going on. Right. So, but here it is. This the portion when we go back to the presentation, you'll see this at the top saying saying, cool, I'm available this Sunday or Wednesday anytime. But again, we never set any dates. We never said that we were going to have a discussion on the 3rd of September. We never said that. All right. So I sent him an email, and this is the actual email I sent him here. This is the actual email I sent him that he put a letterhead over. He started it from this thread right here, but of course he had this collapsed, right? And that's DOS camera action sending this to me. So he had this collapsed. So it just looks like in that screen print, I'll go there after I go through here. Cool, I'm available this Sunday or Wednesday anytime. So I responded to him on the 2nd of September, didn't hear from him for almost a week later, and this is what he posted in there. So my response to him, right, which I sent a couple of nights ago, I said here, and this is me seeing some of the videos that he made, and I wasn't pleased with it, how he was using my video clips. And I'll show you the video clips here because I don't want to take too much time. But it says, blessings. I hope and pray all is well with you. I'm sending this email requesting that you please stop using a clip from my video titled Hand Gestures, Greek lettered organizations, GLOW, fraternities and sororities, explaining Freemasonry with me addressing hand gestures that's not in any books, any of the books of Freemasonry. You misused and misrepresented my material, insinuating that I am supporting and defending Freemasonry when I was very clear that I denounced the fraternity and have been continuously denouncing it since I was 23 years old when I walked away from it. You cut the clip prior to me stating I don't rock with this stuff, Freemasonry, but good. But the good thing about it is that I can give you the first hand. So I'm just actually making a quote that was cut from the actual video, right? In many of the ways that he used it. So I also put here, this is what he has on his site. That's why I really want to focus on here. I want to start off by letting you see how cordial we were early on, but then come down to here so you can see the email that he included, but also show that we never agreed to any dates, but he made a post on September 1st saying that we was going to have a discussion on September 3rd, that we never had a discussion on that. So going here, I wasn't disrespectful to him. I wasn't being gossipy or anything like that. I said, I said here, as in several of my teachings on the subject, I've firmly given several scriptures to show the viewers how to speak against Freemasonry and the glows with scripture. I was open and honest in answering your questions and your initial response in this email thread, and yet your videos are deceptively linking me to that organization. According to scripture, that's bearing false witness. That's literally what I said. If you feel that I am wrong about the books that I reference, read the books, see if I misrepresented the sources, and we can have an actual public discussion addressing them. You've made an assertive effort to place me under the label Hebrewanity, which he has. He created the label Hebrewanity. I said here, you've made an assertive effort to place me under your label Hebrewanity. And let me highlight this here, in which I've had to deal with the same level of disrespect within this awakening with labels such as Christian pastor, Christian Hebrew pastor, and all that stuff. and Christian brews from Pastor Dowell and Issachar. That's all I said. I wasn't gossiping about them. I wasn't throwing scriptures around about them. Nevertheless, you've used the clip in several of your videos, and I prefer that you remove the clips from your videos at my request. I'm coming directly to you as the scriptures require. Unfortunately, you didn't extend me the same courtesy. I'm very disappointed because I've been very respectful to you, and yet you chose to slander me by misrepresenting my teachings. You've gone through my old Facebook videos of me teaching on the subject, proving that I've been very consistent with my stand against Freemasonry and the Greek letter organizations or Black Greek letter organizations. Again, I'm asking you to respect and honor my request. Now, family, I wasn't being disrespectful to him. I was being very respectful to him. I was being very respectful to him, and he threw it right back in my face. Because guess what? We get down here, and this is what you see in the email that he doctored, that he posted. I'm thoroughly disappointed that you, Mr. Kelly, have chosen to respond only now in this manner, neglecting our previous agreement to engage in a public live non-email conversation for the purpose of educating the people. It seemed as though you disappeared. I am disheartened by the perceived dishonesty on your part and that of your AFIJ, African Israelite Justice Foundation colleagues with the blatant propaganda of falsehoods. I am deeply disappointed in your insistence on the removal of the clip showing your former role as a Mason before starting a church, while your organization or civil rights foundation have resorted to subversive tactics to portray this as a confrontation between the UK and the US, or to label me as part of some covert, operation like COINTELPRO or an agent. Now, many within this awakening was actually giving him the benefit of the doubt, believing that his account may have been hacked in his defense. But anyway, these lies are built upon a foundation of lies stacked upon more lies. It is especially disheartening given that most of you are over the age of 50 and should possess the wisdom and maturity to conduct yourselves more responsibly. Instead, aching to Nehemiah, see, he brought up Nehemiah right here, right? Right? Let me read this. I think I bypassed this. In addressing the issues at hand, you, the foundation, attempted to intimidate me. Attempt to intimidate by resorting to legal actions, all while believing that you are champions of change and reform akin to Nehemiah. Please, for the sake of the one you claim to represent, the Most High, strive to align your actions with your purported values rather than selectively choosing verses for damage control and self-preservation. You desperately want this video clip removed? I'm not desperate for it, right? Hidden, made private despite being in the public domain. I will pray upon his word, his word considered it, or what was it? I will pray and upon his word, consider it, or feel free to report me to YouTube, as the case with most Hebrew Freemasons back channels. Interesting, despite all the collective slander against me, I've allowed it because I have nothing to hide and my conscience is clean. I will also make, and notice how he closed it out, I will also make this engagement public so people can weigh the matter and decide for themselves, as they are a worldwide assembly, not an online or tailored congregation, offline tailored congregation. Come on, family. Come on, family. Now, to close out with this, saying that we are that a worldwide assembly. And this is how we are treating each other. Now he's saying, okay, I'm going to make this public. I'm like, okay. Now, this was my response. Well, he came back and said something here as well. Moreover, I disagree, and I have included in the videos the part where you say are no longer affiliated with Freemasonry or a Freemason. So this claim is invalid, or certain videos your clip is inserted to show how pastors are often from a Masonic background, which is a true saying and is not a lie, as some many have tried to downplay or divert this topic away as a witch hunt for self-preservation, despite formally ordained ministers of churches. So that was his receipt. He gave me a double dose of with his response, right? And me not knowing that he posted what he posted, I responded to him right here respectfully. I'm not sure where you are getting your information from in terms of a supposed live public agreement that sets actual dates and times. Possible dates and time of any discussions were actually left open. Again, in the initial thread, there was no discussion or agreed upon dates of a public discussion in terms of, and I said public discussions, and I go on to say in terms of the supposed COINTELPRO accusations by the AIJF. I am not aware, nor do I support any of these supposed accusations towards you. Your name has not come up in any of our meetings and or discussions, because our focus isn't attacking our people, but providing some form of legal protection / assistance to us. I have not made one statement in any of my videos to even remotely suggest what you're insinuating. If anything, I actually defended you in a video that I made private, the one I mentioned earlier. In terms of this supposed of me disappearing, as I've stated in the earlier email thread, I have more pressing matters to address, such as the shooting of a loved one and my father, who was now, and I don't even want to put all of this out there. I'm just going to bypass that. All right. So I said, I don't have a problem with engaging in a public discussion on the subject in the future. However, now is not the time. I should not and will not resort to bringing YouTube into this matter. Into this matter, you and I should be able to address. I will not and should not have to go to that path. I did not go that route with Pastor Dow, who called me every possible name and publicly disrespected my wife, and I refuse to go that route with you. Nevertheless, if you choose to make this entire thread private, it was supposed to be private thread public, excuse the typo, that's your choice. And I don't agree with your approach. You mentioned Nehemiah starting at chapter 4 and beyond. After the Israelites successfully built the wall, what you read in the text occurred internally within the wall, not publicly outside it, with the goal of keeping outsiders such as Sanballat at bay. And chapter 6 is where Sanballat attempted to use an open letter in an attempt to bait Nehemiah to meet with him. Again, this email is not an open letter, but a private one. I'll ask you again, please don't use any of my material nor images in doing so. I don't need to resort to YouTube police, because we should be able to honor each other's requests, whether we agree or disagree. Family, that's what I said there. And then this is, I was heated, right? So then I put here, I said, per discussion, because then it was like, you know what? All right, you want to go there? It's like, all right. And then I said, hey, I changed my mind. Let's have a discussion. And then he responded here, Wednesday is fine. Because after I started thinking about it, it's like, hey, wait a minute. But that's before I knew about that, saw the public post that he made. Now I could go into more of the thread here, but it's just too much to read and take up too much time. But some of it, I just really, when it comes to, like, especially with my loved one, I don't like to have that information circulating because that's a personal matter that he's going through. But I reiterated to him what I was dealing with in terms of having more pressing matters than to be dealing with, this type of discussion, because this is not a priority to me because of the other stuff I have on my plate. So, family, let me bring this back up here. And I'm going to share a couple of videos, and I'm going to let you be the judge, because he said he didn't doctor any of my videos. He's saying how his intention of how he was using the videos to show pastors and all this other stuff. But I'm going to let you hear and see for yourself, and then we're going to wrap it up. Like I said, this is unfortunate. I shouldn't even have to be doing this, but let me let you hear. This is the first one that I saw. I didn't go through all his videos, but I found 3 of them. This is the and I'm going to play the first one. This is the older one that I saw that he had in this video. Here it is.
Y'all know what y'all want. Y'all know Pastor Kelly is basically her pastor.
Right. I got some books here, right? I don't want to show that one yet. Let me see if I can find the older one first. Let me see if it's this one. These are the books that was used when I went through the Freemasons when I was 20 years old overseas.
Jesus died at 33. No, what's funny? That's the highest degree in masonry.
And like I said, these are the books that was used when I went through the Freemasons when I was 20 years old overseas. And thank the Most High for me not being part of that anymore. I was young, just like all of us. We made decisions, and I'm not going to I'll keep harping on that because, hey, it's in the past. Fair use. Right. I got some books here, right? Kind of ashamed to admit, but I was a Mason. At one time, I was a Freemason. That's why I know a lot of this stuff. These are some of the reference books that I have. This book right here, purchase it if you want to do your own investigation, and you will not find those signs and all that up in here. All right, so that's the initial one that I saw, right? But let me show you how that changed, right? Let's go to another one. That's the initial one that I saw. Let me see if let's go to this one here, right? This is one with Brother Berean and how he's clipped. He went from the initial video, and let me show you how he used that clip in this video.
Y'all know what y'all want. Y'all know Pastor Kelly is basically her pastor.
Right. I got some books here, right? Kind of ashamed to admit, but I was a Mason. At one time, I was a Freemason. These are the books that was used when I went through the Freemasons. Just like all of us, we made decisions, and I'm not going to I'll keep harping on that because, hey, it's in the past. Fair use.
She come on and she rock with us, but Pastor Kelly is a pastor. Pastor Kelly's an elder. Anything anybody say about Pastor Kelly's sister, he's going to go in.
Said if you want to do your own investigation, and you will not find those signs and all that up in here. So he went from the initial video to chopping this video up. He's supposed to be going in doing a video about Brother Berean, but then he clips my video up in there and have to bring up a video of Brother Berean mentioning Sister E defending me. What does that have to do with him going in on Brother Berean or doing a video on Brother Berean? Why am I coming up in there? And you can see how he began to, from the initial one to clipping my videos. So then here's the latest one. He's doing a video on Dante. He did a video on Dante, but notice how he placed me in there. Here it is.
Time can sometimes reveal hidden motives or connections that were not initially apparent. Despite not being mentioned in the Freemasonry or Eschen Burgundy exposure video, Dante, TEOTW, We Woke Now, and even their longtime controlled opposition rival, Barian TV and others, felt compelled to unify to downplay the Negro Church and its various leaders' ministers' connections to Freemasonry. It's interesting how time has a way of revealing the truth of a matter.
So now he's showing the clip saying that I'm downplaying. And every time I did the teachings on Freemason, I was clear about how the church, how many pastors are Freemasons. I even have clips on this on this channel here and on the backup channel showing Freemasonry in the church. So that's why I said, hey, you know what? Remove it. Remove my videos. Because it went from, as you see the initial video, even though he still clipped it, but he shared that, hey, I denounced Freemasonry. I showed those books. But then after that, he shows Freemasons, Freemason doing a hand gesture, an Eastern Star doing a hand gesture. After what I said, he put in there, bruh. And then the video he did about Brother Berean, he puts me in there saying that now we all joining collective forces. We're joining hands. We're coming together to protect and defend pastors that's in Freemason. You heard it with your own ears. So you hear and you see just 3 videos that I gave to the latest one that he shared. No commentary. He's saying that he's showing that pastors were in the past part of Freemasonry. That's not what he said in this video here. Let me play it one more time. Listen to what he said in this video, this last clip here.
Time can sometimes reveal hidden motives or connections that were not initially apparent. Despite not being mentioned in the Freemasonry or Eschen Burgundy exposure video, Dante, TEOTW, We Woke Now, and even their longtime controlled opposition rival, Barian TV and others, felt compelled to unify to downplay the Negro Church and its various leaders' ministers' connections to Freemasonry. It's interesting how time has a way of revealing the truth of a matter.
So he said that I'm downplaying. So it went from me making it clear that I'm not part of it, I'm not affiliated with any of that, to now he's saying how we're joining forces, how we're downplaying pastors being Freemason and all that other stuff. That's misrepresentation of the material. You cannot get around that, family. So I want to go to a post because he had this post included in the video, right? He had this post included in the video and insinuated that I was throwing subtle shots at him, right? Let me go here. I'm gonna put this on the screen real quick. And this is coming out of the Message Bible. Is it there? I thought I was. Let me see here. Yeah, I'm gonna share this real quick, family. Let me share this real quick. It is sad, man. Got to even do videos on this, man. This is sad. I'm not even happy about even having to do this. All right, let me see if I can pull this out. All right, why is it? Oh, there we go. All right, let me share this here. And this is what he had at the beginning of the video and saying that I am throwing shots at him. So let me show you this here. And then matter of fact, I'll drop a link inside the comment section. And, I'm not going to prolong this this video any longer. I'll drop the link for you guys if you guys want to jump on. But let's be respectful. But let me see here. Because I see my sister Carol there, and I know she want to jump on. Probably want to jump on. Let me see here. Yeah. This post that I made here, it says, this post isn't directed at any particular groups, right? Let me zoom it in. You guys, I can't zoom. Oh, come on now. Let me back it up. Man, YouTube is getting on my nerves. Let me see. Let me go back. Let me scroll down. All right, here it is. Let me see if it's still showing. Can you guys see my screen? If you guys can see it. All right. Now, this is what I said here. I said here, right? I can't zoom it. I was trying to zoom it, but yeah, I'm not going to zoom it. But anyway, this post isn't directed at any particular group or groups and or individuals, but me, right? I said I'm directing this post starting with me. Every one of us had to learn this hard lesson through the school of hard knocks, whether we had to learn this lesson publicly or privately. And this actual scripture is a quote from the Message Bible. If you guys, matter of fact, let me see if I can pull up the Message Bible. So I'll prove it to you that I didn't make this quote up. What was it? Matthew 7, verse 2. See, this is what's sad, man. And what can happen is, a lot of times, people would do certain things and then go to victim role, like, hey, I'm just trying to spread the word and I don't know why people are behaving this way. But it's like, hey, anyway, let's go to the Message Bible version of this verse. Notice what you see here. Now, this is, let's go back over here. Don't pick on people, jump on their failures, criticize their faults, unless, of course, you want the same treatment. That critical spirit has a way of boomeranging. So let's go back over to the Message Bible. Don't pick on people, jump on their failures, criticize their faults, unless, of course, you want the same treatment. That critical spirit has a way of boomeranging. Now, family, come on now. How can he take this and make it seem as if I'm directing this at him? And I started the thread off by saying, this is directed at me. This is a lesson I had to learn. I said, this post isn't directed at any particular groups or individuals, but me. Every one of us had to learn this hard lesson through the school of hard knocks, whether we had to learn this lesson publicly or privately. Come on, family. Come on, family. You see it right on your screen. You could go to my community channel. I have not changed it or anything like that. I just proved to you that this is a direct passage out of the Message Bible. This post was not directed at him. And let me show you again, right? Let me show you again.
Time can sometimes reveal hidden motives or connections that were not initially apparent. Despite not being mentioned in the Freemasonry or Eshin Burgundy exposure video, Dante, TEOTW, We Woke Now, and even their longtime controlled opposition rival, Variant TV and others, felt compelled to unify to downplay the Negro Church and its various leaders' ministers' connections to Freemasonry. It's interesting how time has a way of revealing the truth of a matter.
So family, you saw it right in the beginning. I don't need to continue to, sound like I'm beating a dead horse, because I went much longer than what I wanted to do with this video. But family, as you see here, you can pull it up. Matthew chapter 7, verse 2. And I posted it because I liked how it read. And whenever I make posts like this, I make sure I make it a point, because sometimes people can take things, when I say people, and I learned this from being a pastor, you could give a message that's so personal that people think that you actually are in their business. I've actually had people come and pull me over and say, did anyone talk to you about what's going on in my house? As far as in their house, that's what I'm referring to. I've had to deal with stuff like this. So I've learned that whenever I do certain messages or make certain posts, make sure, especially when it's something like this, to make sure that I'm not dealing with no person in particular. I'm starting with myself. Don't pick on people, jump on their failures, criticize their faults, unless, of course, you want the same treatment. That critical spirit has a way of boomeranging. And as I share with you, and I'll share with you one more time, that is a quote from the Message Bible. Let me make sure you guys can see that. So family, I didn't do this video to try to have people call them names or anything like that. I'm not into the name calling, but I do want to make it clear. He went and made that post, and it forced me to have to give clarity to show that, hey, you know what? I was very respectful to him. I wasn't sitting up here trying to gossip about Dowell and gossip about you know, Issachar or anything like that. I just made a simple request. I just said that, hey, I got called those names from Pastor Dow and those names from Issachar. I didn't go into any particular. I just said that, hey, with him using that term Hebrewanity and trying to associate many of us with that, to me, that's the same, same stuff I had to deal with, dealing with people, dealing with the church, dealing with people that are defending Christianity, coming up with all kinds of labels for us, calling us moderate Hebrews, or all those different things. Man, why do we always try to label? Why do we have to label ourselves? That's my whole point. When I saw that, I was like, hey, I don't want my videos associated with that. And I thought just making that request to him personally, one-on-one, because of the rapport that I thought we had in that email thread, that, hey, he was going to say, hey, you know what? Let's let that go. You know what? I got you, Pastor. But he had to make a video, not a video, make a post to give the impression, to give an impression that was not there. I was very respectful to him in our entire interaction. I didn't respond back to him, not because I didn't care to respond back to him, but it's because I have a lot going on within my family, of course, within ministry, and of course, with my place of work. So I'm gonna drop this link here real quick. I'm not sure if my sis still in the building. I'm gonna drop it real quick, family. Let's be respectful if you jump on. All right. I know I haven't dropped this link in a while, but I decided to drop it. But again, like I said, to me, I understand, wanting to wake the people up. I really do. And as I stated in my initial response that I made private, I understand. I understand we need to have these discussions to see how far those tentacles reach. But there's a way of going about it. There's a way of going about it. I don't agree. I agree that, yeah, we should talk about it, but I don't agree just making, comments based upon what I see, far as in terms of interpreting what can be, let's just say, hand gestures and say that that person is connected to a secret society. I just don't agree with that. I don't think that that's the right approach. And even though he may not be going to other channels, but people that have followed him or following him are, I mean, I had to deal with them. And you guys seen it firsthand. And I had to literally make a post about the Ngoza or Ngaza Saba guy. All right. So let me go ahead and do this. Let me bring a couple of people in. I see them in the chat. All right. All right. I'm gonna start with you, Yaquaba. Then I let my sister bring it home. All right. And I see some others here as well. So but go ahead, Yaquaba, you got the floor.
Yes, sir. Um, I had a similar thing happen to me back then. There was people just talking, and it does affect you after a while. And so I understand why you had to come out and say what you had to say. I know it's a hard thing to do because I didn't want to do it. I don't think I have done it yet. So it passed the situation that I was dealing with, and I actually deleted my old page. I remember I had I had so much support on my old page. I had my page was so full until I couldn't receive friends. I had to go in and see who went to sleep in order to open it back up so more people could come in. And you know, I used to have like 1 million views on all of the music I used to release. And what people don't understand is that that does hurt people because, you know, I lost a lot of publishing. I lost a lot of publishing, Pastor. I should have been in the position to be able to help our people with housing and lights and stuff. And my wife, she could bear witness to this, that I actually, you know, I lost a lot of support. So when I'm seeing people going through this actually does something to me. And when you go through something like this, it almost become like a ministry for you to try to warn people and teach people and, you know, try to help them through some of the hurdles that you had to go through with that you probably didn't come through out on the winning side. So I'm here with you and with everybody else that's going through this, and I want y'all to be encouraged. If it be y'all will, I would like to sit in the back and listen and give a short commentary on whatever is said.
I'm on. Appreciate it. No problem. No problem. No problem. Got my sister Carol, you know, really appreciate her. She's been rolling with me for years and she knows firsthand of what I've been teaching and how transparent I've been. Sister Carol, you got the floor.
Hey, my brother, I'm so glad you did this tonight. It was time for it to be done. And sadly, I know there's a lot of people on here watching and not in the chat, but they're watching and listening to this. And they may be still subscribers to his channel. But you have seen what he's been doing for the past months. This is not something he this out of the clear blue say I'm start doing. He's been doing this for a minute, and every person that you mentioned tonight, he had some type of relations with, speaking with, and doing videos with, and communing with, and then he will take those same relationships and then he'll twist it. You mentioned Dow. He has videos where he exposed Dow in the exact same manner, called him Freemason, and that he's a hero entity as well, which is kind of interesting that he would throw this in your face and saying that you're gossiping about them, and when he just did an expose on him himself and called him that. I don't understand where he thought that it was upon him to do this, because the Most High does not call someone to do this. He's going to do it himself. If you want to be exposed, both sides will do it himself. And I don't think this is a calling upon him. I think this is something that he decided to do for whatever reason and whatever motivation. But he hit the right one with you. And it's sad that the work that he did before this change, and it happened before his channel was taken down or placed. But he had good content that I really truly enjoyed. And to see it come to this level that he's taken it to now, is pretty sad.
I'm mine. I totally agree. And like I said, it was when I saw that, because I actually sent did a couple of email responses, not
Mm-hmm.
knowing that he had made that community post.
Right.
And when I saw that, I was like, come on. It's like, and we're being very respectful,
Mm-hmm.
in the emails I displayed tonight.
Absolutely.
So it's just very unfortunate. Whether we agree or disagree, it didn't warrant for him to do what he had done. So
Absolutely.
real quick, my sister, I see some other one else here. I'm gonna keep you on, of course. You know how we do.
Right.
But Diane, I hope I
Yes.
pronounced it correctly.
It's Dion. Yeah.
Dion,
So
okay.
yeah, that's my real name is Dion.
All right,
A lot of
don't
people.
butcher me. It was,
Oh, I know. It's
I
okay.
apologize.
Oh, it's fine. I've been called Dione, Dion, Diane. So it's cool. I just have something very, very short to say. First I would just say hello, family. I just wanted to say that the way TCA has been behaving, it just seems very unbalanced. And from what I've noticed is that, he has gone against many of the brothers and sisters that have been doing like thorough work in the field, and so it just makes one wonder, and then also, like, to those who follow him and who actually believe the things that he has said, um the standard that he set are people making hand gestures, but he himself has made hand gestures, and that was pointed out. So if they are going to believe the things that he has been saying, then you must judge him by the standard that he himself has set. So I think that they should ask themselves a question and just think on that, because if a simple hand gesture condemns someone and he made those hand gestures, then that standard condemns him as well. And so I just that was all I was going to say, basically.
And thank you for your input. Really appreciate it. And like when I did the last set of lessons that I did on Freemasonry, and I've been teaching this for years on top of years, I placed a point of emphasis. That's why I shared sources. These are sources you can purchase, and I always recommend don't purchase them if you're not grounded in the word. You know what I mean? Because you can purchase books. And if you're not grounded in the word, it can really mess with you, mess with your spirit. But that's why I posted books showing you will not find those hand gestures within the book. And I'm not defending Freemasonry, but Freemasonry is not about hand gestures. It's about, truth be told, secret words, hidden words. It's not about what many people think it is. And of course, you have all kinds of different areas within Freemasonry. You have Muslims, you have Christians, you have Judaism, you have Satanic, Luciferian, you have all those things. And like I said, I definitely understand the need to have these discussions to expose the organization and those organizations that's connected to it. But I just don't agree with making a comment saying, hey, this person is this. And then now that can damage the person's reputation, instead of going to that person and say, hey, I want to send you an email. I got a question. Hey, are you, I noticed you've been doing these hand gestures. Are you part of that organization? Right. And if they say yes, then okay. If they say no, okay, but at least it's done in a way that it won't potentially damage their reputation. So I agree with you. It's like, man, not sure why we even focusing on that type of, I mean, that portion of it. You know what I mean? Hand gestures. I mean, again, hand gestures. I mean, Freemasonry did not, uh, how can I put it, monopolize hand gestures. Just
Right.
didn't. But anyway, but definitely appreciate your input. Thank you again for jumping on it. I definitely value your input, and we're just gonna have to continue to encourage the people of the Most High. I pray those that follow TCA that if they watch the video from a perspective of what's right. And I didn't, at least correct me if I'm wrong, but I made an assertive effort not to try to come across like I'm trying to call him names, but I had to show that he was not being truthful with his information that he presented.
Absolutely. I think you did an excellent job in conveying your message, an excellent job being professional, being respectful in your response. So, but thank you for this time. And I'm just going to jump off and just listen.
All right. Thank you for the love and support, sis. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right. The messenger. Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings. Well, I've been listening or hearing this recently, right? About, the whole TCA situation. Now, I'm not too familiar with what Masonry is, but I am aware that it does contain some form of deception hidden in it, as far as I know, considering that you have also left Freemasonry after being in it for so long. And
No,
so
let me
from my,
make it clear. I was in it for 3 years, from the age
oh,
of 20 to 23. So I want to make it clear. It wasn't me in it
okay.
for most of my life. So it was
All right,
20
all right.
years old, military, overseas.
Hmm.
3 years later, I did not, what they call it, renew my dues and, stop going to all the different meetings and all that stuff and completely remove myself from this. I want to make it clear, give clarity.
All right, yeah,
It
that's good
wasn't
to
all my
know.
life. It was just for 3 years.
All right. But thank you for that information. But yeah, concerning the situation, I've just been thinking about it every time, right? How it seems like, I'm just it just there's like no love in this, like you don't feel like the approach doesn't seem like he's, at least to me, it doesn't seem like he's trying to come in love and like help, but it seems like he's more of kind of like attacking, just accusing people, and that's what I've been thinking of a lot. I just wanted to voice that opinion because I listen to it and it just irritates me how, I'm like, why couldn't he do this in private and talk to them, without having to make it public? Why couldn't he just say it, in a different manner, that would be more, more in love, like
Yeah.
from, um, if I remember correctly, it's in, um, that one scripture, I believe in possibly Galatians, somewhere in the after Matthew, right? It's or not after Matthew, but after John. There's a section in the Bible that talks about love, and recently I've done a Bible study with my family, right, where we all come together and read, and from what we learned that from what we learned is that love doesn't come in um, come accusing. It comes in meekness and long suffering and um, what's it called? In patience, right? And so this doesn't seem like to me like he's coming in that way. So yeah, just wanted to voice that. Just doesn't, you could tell it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like it aligns with what the scripture talks about.
Yeah. Yeah. And I will say this, and I'm not trying to come to his defense, or but sometimes it can be hard in this awakening, uh, whereas though you have you have some people within this awakening that can be very brutal with their responses. You know what I mean, with their posts, their comments. And I'm not trying to justify anything that he's done. And I know that some people that was in this awakening just disappeared, got burnt out, because it can be hard when as we see Moses dealing with a stiff necked people, you know what I mean? Moses, ended up, the Most High told him, hey, speak to the rock, don't strike it. Moses went in prayer, came out of prayer and told the people off, you know what I mean? And then struck the rock. So, I try to encourage, or at least look at things through certain angles to see, to your point, of why, what's the root cause of these behaviors that we see. And you know it's like, where is it, what is, where's, like you said, where's the love? Because in First Corinthians, I think that was one of the passages that you were making reference to. But First Corinthians, I thought I just had it here. I'll just pull it up real quick. Man, I just had it here. I'm gonna have to blame Sister Carol if I can't find it. 1 Corinthians chapter 4, it's like, to your point, it talks about long suffering. It says, love suffers long and is kind. Love does not envy. Love does not
Yeah.
parade itself. It says, is not puffed up, does not behave rudely, right? Does not seek its own, is not provoked, thinks no evil, does not rejoice in iniquity, but rejoices in truth, bear all things, believes all things, hope all things, endures all things. So that just says so much about what love is. And when you were speaking, it made me think of those set of passages.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about.
So definitely appreciate it, my brother. Any other comments that you want to share, and even towards Freemasonry, because I know you mentioned about the secrecy. Yeah, it's when you're going through Freemasonry, they'll tell you it's not a secret society, it's a society with secrets. You know what I mean? They'll tell you that pretty much everything that you want to know about it is public. You could go to the library. Only thing that's not public is those secret words. You know what I mean? And you won't find them in the book. None of their ritual books. Certain words you just won't find there. But in terms of the organization, you can find it in the book.
All right. But yeah, um, that's pretty much all I have to say. I don't really have much. That was the only comment, pretty much.
Hey, I appreciate it, my brother, and thank you for coming on tonight and giving your inputs. Really appreciate it. And man, have a blessed remainder of the weekend. And thank you again. Really appreciate it.
No problem. You too.
All right. All right, Sister Carol, you got the floor again.
Sorry about that. Just wanted to say, I hope that one day he come to a level of repentance and stop what he's doing. It's not serving anything in our community. I know he's in another country across the pond, and I don't know what his view is of the West. And that may have some bearing on it or not, but we don't have time for it. As you stated, we're in the High Holy Days. We're in the middle of High Holy Days of the Feast of Tabernacles, and we should not be bothered with this or him and his antics that he's doing. You have been respectful to him from the very beginning, from the very time he's tagged you in a community post in which you told him to untag you. and he gave you publicly a acknowledgement of respect and saying that I hope that we could expand upon the topic. So it went from there to downhill over nothing. And I just pray that some kind of reckoning comes to him to make this stop. Because we know how the operation of the Most High, when you continue to do something that's not of his will. And this is truly not of his will. You can see it's not. It has so much wickedness in it. And my prayer right now for him is that he comes to himself. And we just left the Day of Atonement, that he needs to repent all of this he's doing. Every last bit of it needs to repent. And he needs to come to you and repent. And ask for forgiveness. That's all I have to say.
Well, I definitely appreciate it, sis. And we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? We'll see what happens. And like I said, that's why I want to do this video, because when I saw that post, it's like, you know what? I have to address it.
It's so
And
childish.
when I saw it, it's like, come on. I mean, to even create a letterhead.
Right. Like it was from your desk.
You
Pastor
know,
of this organization. I'm like, that doesn't even make sense. Pastor of this. And then you see the email. I just glanced over and went straight to the email. Like, because he knows when you have a letter, it says, "Dear such and such," or "to whom such and such." No salutation started it off. So it just looks silly.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Which makes him, so all his so-called "I gotcha" videos, that made him look so small. It really showed off his juvenileness. And it's pathetic at this point now.
yeah, yeah. Well, you know how it goes. The biggest thing is like once you put something like that out there,
Mm-hmm.
you lose so much credibility.
Yes.
You know, I mean, regardless of how you roll with someone, when you see something like this, it's like, wait a minute, you created a letterhead, and that's the first thing you see. Moment I open up Gmail, you don't see what this letterhead
Right.
with Israel spelled wrong.
Exactly. It's almost like it's the back in the day with the East Coast, West Coast rappers, doing diss videos. Diss
Yeah,
raps. That's what this has
yeah,
become. It's
yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah, yeah. Well, I'm getting sleepy here. I'm
I
beyond my
am too.
2 hour limit, and I know I did a
Okay.
couple of videos beyond that.
Yeah.
But really appreciate you guys. Yaquaba, before we wrap up, any final words you want to say before we wrap up?
I just want to tell you, just keep doing you. Don't let the stuff what's going on burn you out. Just keep doing you. I don't know how the person gonna respond and how it's gonna run out, but I just wish that back then when I was going through my situation that I had some moral support, because the person had got to the people before I could even respond. And I just remember all of my support, followers, everything just dropped down, and it was just like I was ghosted. So I don't want that for none of our people. And I just want us to, people like to do things fighting over a bone, but we not no dogs. We supposed to be like the Bible called the sheep. The sheep, the father feed the sheep. We go out there in the wilderness, wherever he lead us, he supposed to lead us to green pastures. Therefore, we don't have to fight like dogs over bones. So I just want you to keep on going, Pastor. I had to encourage my pastor before he passed. So I just want you to keep on going. And yeah, I used to be in the Masons when I think I was first degree Mason, and I wasn't really initiated in. And I just, once I found out like it was something sketchy about it, it took some time, but once I found out about it, I just pulled out of it. So, all of us have things like you said that we was into, even Christianity. And a real Mason is not somebody. A real Mason is somebody that built up stuff. Our ancestors was real Masons. So the ones that was calling themselves Freemasons, that's probably all they could do is practice a religion of it, because they weren't doing no work and building no White House. Our ancestors built it, and my granddaddy built my grandmother's house from the ground up. So that's what a real Mason is. A real Mason is not some of this stuff what they done did with it. A real Mason, a brick Mason, is somebody that build up houses, a carpenter that deal with sheetrock and stuff. That's a real Mason. But other than that, that religion stuff, I don't think we need to do that.
Absolutely. My apologies, that beeping that you hear in the background, that was my work laptop that went out. So
Yes,
yeah, at this time it'll do a beep when it reboots. So I guess some Windows updates got applied and it rebooted.
yes, sir. But that's all I want to say, encourage you. And, my brother, he went to school to be a Mason, not no religious organization. A Mason is somebody that build up houses, build chairs and stuff. But that religious side, he ain't into that. So somebody may hear him. If I come on here and say, my brother's a Mason, oh, they thinking my brother. So it's some things you afraid to even say, but you got to be bold as a lion. I know my brother ain't into all that, but he's a Mason. He could build your flow up. He could build up your house. He could put electricity in there. That's a Mason. But the religious side, I don't think that we need to dabble in it. But when you know better, you do better.
Absolutely. 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 Well, appreciate it, my brother. And thank you for your insight. And thank you for jumping on tonight. Really appreciate it. And, have a blessed remainder of the weekend. Sister Carol, did any final words you want to give? Unmute yourself.
Is it there?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. You still there, sis? I was just asking if you had any final words you wanted to share.
No, just to as I stated earlier, just keep moving forward, and I hopefully that he'll come and be reckoned with what he's doing, and he needs to repent and just keep moving forward. And we're in the middle of the Feast of Tabernacles. I think that's where our focus need to be placed in, and not on this.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I have to give him the garbage can award. I have to give him the garbage can. I didn't bring it out in a while, but I have to give him the garbage can award for what he just pulled with that community post. So I'm gonna give him the garbage can. Gotta give him the garbage can. So with that being said, family, really appreciate you guys for tuning in tonight. We'll get back in line with the teachings. I got to continue on with the series with Esau. Where's Esau? As well as continue on with some of the other things that I've been teaching. Got to finish going through Jeremiah, giving some clarity on some different areas within the book of Jeremiah. But with that being said, really appreciate you guys for the love and support. And in the words of the Most High that he gave to Moses in Exodus chapter 14, verse 13 to 14, fear ye not, stand still, see the salvation of Yahweh. These Egyptians that you see here today, you will never have to deal with them again. They will not have power over you again. The Most High will fight for you. But here's the kicker, family. We have to hold our peace. Can't go back. Can't stay here. Keep moving forward. Shalom.
Listen, Genesis chapter 11, verse 10 explains the genealogy of Shem. Shem was a black man in Africa. If you repeat this back, Genesis 14, verse 13. Abraham steps on the scene. Being a descendant of Shem, which is a fact, means Abraham too was Abraham, born in the city of a black man, called Nimrod, grandson of Ham. Ham had 4 sons. One was named Canaan. Here, let me do some explaining. Abraham, Isaac was Jacob had 12 sons, for real, and these were the children of Israel. According to Genesis chapter 10, these were the children of Israel. According to Genesis chapter 10, these were the children of Israel. According to Genesis